face, and as you can see, I have my crock pot ready. We're going to be making some bar soap, and let me tell you something about bar soap. It's way different in the process than making shaving soap. So, for one, shaving soap I use a hot process, and the bar soap is cold. And really the difference is the temperatures and the cooking. So some of the other things that you do are essentially the same. So what we're going to be doing is melting all the oils and butters in the crock pot until they're totally liquid. And then we'll be adding in our lye. And the lye will, once added in, we'll use the immersion tool that's right here, and we'll mix that up till trace. And what trace means is if you mix it up and then you lift up the wand, and you'll notice that the drippings from the wand onto the oils, if they don't leave a trace, then it's not ready. You mix it up until trace, till you see those appearing, and then once that's done, you can add your fragrances and anything else that you want, and at that point it is ready to put into a mold, because probably a good 10-15 minutes after that it's going to get tougher and tougher to do. So I'll show you the process, and I hope you enjoy it. So here we go. So if you've never seen cocoa butter before in the amounts that I have to buy it, it comes in a tub, and I'll just let you take a look at this before I start putting it in. And this is that is cocoa butter, and it's tough, it's hard, and you what you do is you measure this out, and we put it into a bowl here, as you can see, and then we take all those ingredients, we throw them in here into the crock pot, and they melt. So I'm going to be doing that with all of the ingredients, and then we'll come back to see it all liquefy, and then we'll do the pouring of the lye into the crock pot, and you'll see the sponification happen, and then we'll do the trace and add our fragrances and then pour them into the molds. And the molds that I use are my 3D printed molds, and I have them right here. These are my 3D printed molds. I have about 2, 4, 6, I have 8 of them right now, and they're working out very well. I've used them multiple times, and all of my soaps will be this size. It comes out to about 4.5 ounces. So, and the price is not changing. I just wanted consistency. I didn't want to, go around cutting bars that are a little short here, a little short there. They're all will be the same. So, with that said, let's get on with it. All right, I'm just going to show you. Here's the bowl with all of the coconut oil, and I just pour it in like that. That's basically all I do. And what we're going to do is continue on with the other ingredients and let this melt, and then when it's all melted, we'll come back. All right, so as you can see, all of our oils and butters are now inside, and they're going to melt. Not very exciting to watch, so we're just going to let this do its thing, and then we will come back and pour the lye into the mixture. So we'll wait. So while we're waiting for the oils to melt and the butters to melt, we're going to be making the lye. So we need water, and normally what we do is we use water that has been distilled. If you don't do that, you don't know what you're giving to your customers, so we want to have distilled water. Alright, so I'm going to add that in right now. Okay, I need a little bit more. Alright, So, there you have it, and now we'll put the lye in. Alright, so here is the lye, and we are going to mix this into our water. Now, I've always said this before when I was showing you how I do shaving soap. You don't pour the water into the lye, you pour the lye into the water. So we're going to swap this out here, and I just want to be cautious because it happens. You want to make sure that you're using a long sleeve shirt. You also want protection like a mouth guard, like they wear in the hospitals, just so you're not breathing vapors in directly. And I'm going to do this just because it's the right thing to do. I'm taking out. The right thing to do is to wear gloves. Now, I noticed that a lot of soapers don't do this, but I'm cautious. I have a lot of issues right now, and I don't need to disable myself any further than what I'm already at. So caution. I have to be cautious, or else I won't be able to take care of my wife because she's disabled. So I can't have two disabled people in the same household. All right. So that is on, and you also need a pair of these. These are safety goggles. If, God forbid, some acid falls in to your eye, well, you'll go blind. So of course you don't want that. Here we go. You're going to see a chemical reaction starting to happen. I'm going to turn on the ceiling fan, which is what I always do. And now you can probably hear it starting to cook. I'm going to step away but stir. You could see the smoke, the steam. This is getting very hot. And I like to stir it vigorously. All right. That is strong. Now to give you an idea of how hot this is, 170 degrees. So it could get up to 200. Most likely it might. So I'm making room for it on another portion of the table. And that will sit there, and it will get clear. It'll get totally clear. And when it's clear, I know it's good to be entered into the oil mixture. But with cold process, I like to have my temperature of my lye at 100, and also the temperature of the oils and butters at 100. That's what I like to do. So we'll come back when those temperatures are what I like, 100 degrees. All right, so you can see everything is melted, and we are ready to pour the lye into the mixture. And with that, we're also going to be using the blender stick and agitate that, incorporating all of the lye into the mixture. And then we're going to be adding our fragrances at trace, and I'll show you how trace is measured. So here we go. Let's just pour this mixture into here, and you can see it turning. Let's get this out of the way. Now we'll use the blender. I like to do this on the lowest setting for the soap. look for traces, you lift up the stirrer, and if it leaves a trace of what's dripping, then you know it's ready to add the fragrances in. Not yet. A little bit more. Yep, that's trace. You can see it. See how it's leaving a trace? So now we're going to add our fragrances, and we'll stir it a little bit more. Okay. Now, we make room for the molds. And here are the molds right here. And I will bring this back further. Let me just get a temperature, that's great. Try to incorporate the mold in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower this down so you can see that. I just hope this stays. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this into the mold. So here goes. Sorry for the shadows, but there's nothing I can do about that. Alright, and now what I'm going to use is one of these things that I spread all the mixture around, and we need to add a little bit more in there. You want to make sure that you're getting everything in there, or else you don't want pockets, you know. I take the excess and I put it back. This is a messy process, and I do press down on the mold. Let's just straighten it, smooth it out, because it's constantly trying to harden. That's what's happening. So you're racing against time, especially when you have more than one mold to do, like I do. If my 3D printer was large enough, I could put 10 little squares in, but this is as big as the printer can do. So right now, this is one complete mold, and I'm just going to leave that in there. I'll take this, I'll put it on a shelf to dry. And And then whatever is left, we'll put in this mold. And what I normally do is I scoop it out and kind of, oh, now it's starting to get really, really hard. Sometimes it allows me to, sorry for the TV that's going on upstairs, but there's nothing I can do about that. And what I'll do is I try to get like maybe 2 or 4 more to equal about 12 bars for a batch. That's usually what my batch consists of. With soap anyway. With shaving soap it's a lot more. People buy shaving soap more than they do the bar soap, but I want to offer the bar soap as well. So I'm pushing down as I'm shaving off the excess. And it looks like it's almost done. There you have it. Pretty good. 12 bars. And now I'll take this and I'll put this on the rack to dry. And in about 2 days we can pop them out and then put them on the rack for further drying. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll continue, if possible, the popping them out. Okay, see you later. Alright, so we're back. This is one of the molds that I just took out of the freezer, believe it or not. Someone told me about putting the molds in the freezer for 5 minutes, 7 minutes, and then it's easier to pop out the bars. So we'll see what that result is. And let me just flip this over, and what I'm going to do is just slowly poke at the bottom of this, and then just going over the same locations, and you can see that the bar is starting to come out. And oh, getting some of that stuff on my fingers. Oh, the bar came out. And there you have it. Can you see that? Wet the base. So that's one. And it turned out really well. And I'm just putting it on the rack to dry. And I'll do all the rest. And then I'll show you where they are on the rack. And that'll be the end of the video, I guess. So let me continue on, and I'll just do one more so you can see. Once you get one out, the rest seem to follow really easy. That's what I have found. And some bar, oh, there's another one. So, okay. And just so we can see, I'll just swap this out for a second. Let's see what they weigh. So this weighs about 5 ounces. So as it dries, of course it gets less. The weight goes away because most of it's water. So with that, we can deduct that this will be about 4.7, 4.5, which is exactly what I want. So very, very good. Really worked out well. Really worked out well. And here they are on the rack. many on the rack. We're all waiting to get ready. These are not ready to come out of the molds yet, but we'll do that another time. So I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.